Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica,
My name is Darwin.
and we're back in the Elevate studio. Today we are going to be talking about somebody's situation. We got an anonymous email from someone, and this person expressed that they wanted us to talk about this topic because they're going through a personal situation with their partner. And so the situation is
And
that
they wanted to know our opinion on it. We are not professional relationship therapists. The person who sent is aware of this. She just wanted to know our opinion on it.
our views on it, right? So she was expressing that she has had a relationship with someone who's cheated several times, and they don't know whether, well, she was asking, can I trust this person again? How can I trust this person who has done me wrong so many times? So the person seems to want to be back in her life, and she seems to be questioning it.
Okay.
I did kind of express myself to her. She gave me a lot of details that I'm not going to disclose on this podcast just for privacy purposes. But I want to say thank you to her for trusting me with such information and for,
Supporting us because obviously she watches us clearly.
Yeah.
So shout out to you.
yes.
And I don't know, I guess there's a level of trust, I guess, to
Right.
having us to
I feel honored that she wants to know our opinion on this. So thank you for trusting us with such an important decision in your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is very
So
tricky.
is that all of it?
Let me just say certain things of the situation. They have kids together. They met each other very, very young. Very young, like teenagers. And they obviously went through a lot of ups and downs. At this point, they're in their 30s. And they separated. They tried again. They separated several times. And yeah, they have children together.
It's a constant back and forth, pretty much.
It's been a constant back and forth. And so I asked her, I was like, have you ever betrayed him? And so she did end up having a relationship with a different person, but she was already separated from him.
Mm.
And because of this relationship she had, once she separated from him, she had a child as well. So she had a kid that's not with this person.
So I feel like that kind of changes things, right? Because he's been unfaithful, right? But so I guess she hasn't. But I feel like in a man's perspective, like his ego, or like, is it ego? Has to be like shut down because
she had a kid with another man.
So although he clearly loves his other child and treats him like it's his child, it's still, for me, I would personally still hold that like in the back of my brain.
That
like
she had a kid with another man?
Yeah.
But that still doesn't justify the fact that he's been very unloyal.
Well, yeah, we're going to jump into that one. But I was saying my perspective on, like, if I was in that situation.
You would feel like you still would hold that against her.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from with that. Because prior to her having a child with this other person, they already had a kid. But obviously things weren't working out because I think, because they were very young. And like I said in previous podcasts, the fact that when you get together with a person and you're like teenagers or like really young adults in your early 20s, it's very easy to mess up because you are so young and naive and you haven't really lived your life yet. And so I always say that you need to give people some grace during that time period. Not that it's okay if you're in your early 20s or, 19, 18 years old and you decided to commit to a relationship, that I'm not saying it's okay for you to go out there and just
do what you gotta
mess up. No. But I am saying that there is a lot more grace that needs to be given because you haven't lived your life yet. And it's just this, life is a learning curve. You're going to mess up. But if after that first instance that you mess up again, and you mess up again, and you mess up again, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Because she stated to me that, they would separate and kind of jump back in and separate and jump back in. I asked her, I was like, during the times that you were separated, were you giving this person special privileges? You guys know what I mean by special privileges, right?
Because that's what I was going to ask. Is like, when they got back together, like, was it like, okay, we're committing to this relationship, or it was just like, all right, let's try this again, happens.
Right? She stated that while they were separated, almost every time they were separated, he was getting special privileges. That is so bad. And I told her, listen, you messed up. You messed up big time. This is your fault right now. Because he could do whatever it is that he wants. He's all over the damn place. But why is this man all over the damn place? You're letting him walk all over you. Yeah. You're letting him literally just run the streets and come right back to you, and you're with open arms. And that's where I feel like she messed up.
Yeah, because to him it's just like, okay, it's always going to be here whenever I come, because clearly that's what's happening. And
she states to me, but aside from, his mess ups in our relationship, he's such a good person. Sis, that has nothing to do with what he is doing for you as a man. Him being a good person and him being a good husband or potential husband for you, potential life partner for you, are two different things. A person could be un amor, una belleza de hombre, como amigo, como hermano, como hijo, like brother. Like, they could be a lovely person outside of being in a relationship. But is he good for you as a man, as a future husband? And as she's speaking to me, I know that that's what she wants. Yeah. She wants a man who's ready to settle, who is ready to form a family. She wants a family man.
And the thing is, too, like, I feel like some people be like, oh, this person is a great father, or this person is a great mother. First of all, when you say that person is a great parent to their child, that has nothing to do with your relationship. That person should be a great mother to their kids. That person should be a great father to their kids. That's no benefit to your relationship, because that's something that you're supposed to do. Clearly, there's people that don't do it, but that has nothing to do with what you actually have to work with to have a successful marriage. Like, parenting and like husband, wife, that's totally,
they complement each other.
Exactly.
They're supposed to work together, but it's no good for you to have a good mother or a good father when he isn't loyal to you as a husband.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's partner. A great dad, but he treats me like,
right. It's just, it needs to add up. Like, you can't just settle because he is a good father or she is a good mother. You need to make sure that you're happy in this relationship. For a man and women, you need to stop playing games. I just, I feel like this person has played so many games with her, because, of course, I'm speaking from my perspective based on what she told me. So I can only speak on that because that's all I know. But it's like this other person wanted to be like with one leg in, one leg out. It's like they're not ready to let her go. It's a selfish move. Yeah. Like, they're not ready to let her go, but they're not ready to fully commit. And it's like the fact that he knows that somewhere in her heart, she loves him. he's taking full advantage of this and he's
Yeah.
running with it. And she's guilty 100% for letting him do this. Like 100%. If from the beginning, let's say the first time they separated because they were very young, they didn't know what they want. Cool. Like you guys did your own thing. You had your own relationship that clearly didn't work for you. And you guys said, okay, let's try this one more time. That moment that you said, let's try this one more time, was that time for you to lay all the rules.
Yeah.
Was that time for you to say, hey, I'm not here to play games. I'm not here for you to play games with me. If you want something serious with me, we're going to do this the right way. And that minute that he messed up and he was unloyal to you again, that was it.
Yeah, because I feel like even like as a man, obviously it took me years to understand this because we was in a relationship so young. But like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, like I mean, you could continue to party the rest of your life, pretty much. But at what point is it just repetitive and boring and like wasting your life? Like especially when you get to a point where you start having kids, not just a kid that could have been a mistake. Well, yeah, a mistake. Like when you decide like, okay, I'm gonna have even another kid with this person, it's like, all right, like you're already committed to this. Like change it up. Like it is not that serious for you to leave the streets or partying. You could still even do it with your partner if you want to do it.
Right.
So like, I feel like as a man,
you
it's
can
time
still
to
have fun with your partner. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm just saying like after your like 30s, 35s, I don't know how old, but it's like, come on, like cut it out.
Like what benefit are you getting from it? And it's like she pointed out to me at one point that he states he doesn't want to lose his family. Like, listen to that.
I mean, technically.
He does, but what are you doing not to lose your family? You're disrespecting her left and right. You come back whenever you want something and then you leave. What priority does she take in your life? The mother of your kids.
But he won't change. Like if she's giving it up, whenever things get, you're in the moment, he's not gonna change. Period.
That's how I feel. That's what I think is the main problem here. The fact that she is so open to the idea of having intimacy with this man who is out there. And she knows it. She knows. But I feel like deep down in her, when she does this, she thinks, if I do it, he might never leave. He's not going to leave again. Or, maybe if I do it this one time, like maybe this time he'll change and he'll stay. And that's not how that works. If the man doesn't feel like you yourself value yourself to the point where you're going to hold him accountable, to the point where you're going to say, you're not just going to come over here and eat whenever you feel like it. Like I'm valuable. Why are you giving him? It just makes no sense. Like if you think about it, why would he change? Why would he be a better man when he could get the benefit of you and everyone else? Yeah. Why would he? So it's really a matter of maturity also from his part.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that needs to realize, you know what? I appreciate her as a woman. I see that she's a good mother to my kids. I see that she still loves me and she's still there for me. Besides me messing up several times, I'm going to do what's right. And if it's been several times that he's done this, I have little hope.
Yeah, but also you have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, like other people's opinions is just their opinion. Like you have to do what makes you happy, what's going to make your family thrive. Like don't just listen to not just us, but anybody that be like, nah, don't fight for your family. Right. If you feel like it's worth it and like you need to literally sit down with this person and be like, listen, like this is what's going on. Like I'm tired. Like I'm literally tired of the bullshit. Like we're getting older and like the back and forth and
I can't keep wasting my time,
And the maturity has to come from your part as well. because it takes for you to be mature to say like, hey, we're having a good time today, but I'm not going to give it up after everybody goes home.
Right.
Because if you do it, then you're going to be back and forth all the time. But once you stop for sure, and he's like, damn, she's not playing games no matter how tipsy she is or how lit we are or whatever gathering we are.
Yeah, she's holding it
He's
together.
going to be like, damn, I can't do both now. So I really got to pick. But if you keep doing it, he's going to be like, oh, I got it. I'm out.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. She's still there. As long as you keep doing that, he's going to keep messing up. And this is why at the beginning, when we went through our little battle, at the beginning, I was very clear about what I wanted, because I knew that had I not expressed to him that I was not okay with that and I was not going to put up with that, I knew it could get very ugly. Because again, for both men and women, if you don't draw the line, especially when you're very young and you don't come from a family that's used to that, you're setting the rules of how you want your family to go. And it's like, if you don't put your foot down and say, I am not okay with this, you're not going to play with my emotions. You're not going to play with my feelings. No matter how much you love this person, how much you think you can't live without them. Forget that. There's so many people out there that will value you as a person.
Yeah.
The last thing you need to do is take that kind of crap. And we're only thinking about it from a perspective of, he's being disloyal and he's disrespecting you and you should value yourself. But you know how much worse this can get? Yeah. How about a freaking STD? You're at home, just being a good mother. I mean, I don't know how she's living her life, honestly. But let's say she's home and she's not really out in these streets exposing herself to a lot of crap that's out there. But he is. And now here he comes home, after he's been with God knows who. And he comes and he gives you something that you're going to have to sometimes carry for the rest of your life. Yeah. That's the bigger thing to think about. Do not, get yourself on that level. You're worth so much more. Make sure that you are making it very clear. And again, I think in this situation, you have a lot to blame yourself for. Not that you're a bad person per se, but the fact that you didn't nip it in the butt when it first started happening, and when you first started to realize you guys wanted to give yourselves a second chance, but it kept happening and it kept happening, and you kept taking him back or giving him privileges that he wasn't entitled to. That's where you messed it all up.
Yeah, we don't want to kind of sound harsh, because obviously is a lot going on, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have to hear some things that way, and trust me, if you have that conversation, like I said, and sit him down, and if you feel like he's flaking, like he's like, oh, I'm not sure, start doing you, start building your life, the life that you want to live, and I guarantee you that if you start building your life and he don't have access to it, he has limited access to see what you're doing and that you're happy, he gonna crawl back.
And he's gonna do what he has to do if he loves you. If he loves you.
Yeah. That would be,
if he doesn't truly love you, he's gonna give up. And that's your answer.
And that's your kind of, I don't know, I did it.
That is your answer right there. Yeah. That is what you want. That's why you can't make it so simple. You cannot. You have to, at this point, if he's been so dishonest and so unloyal to you, he needs to prove himself over and over if you want to make this work again. Now, again, this is like a case-by-case situation, because as a woman, you have to ask yourself, can you forgive him? Because you could love him, but it's going to take a lot.
Yeah, we've actually discussed it before. That I forgot what episode it was, but once that trust is gone, broken. When you sit down with him, you're gonna tell him hey, it's gonna take work. If you're not willing to work for this, it's not gonna work, because there's been so many damages, and like Jessica said, that sounded weird, babe. In the beginning, kind of cut some grace from when y'all was younger. Don't be all right, so we're starting from when we was 14. Like,
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
this. Like, forget about that. Like, you got to start a new chapter and work on the things that actually are important, and forget about like all the little dumb stuff that happened when you guys were teenagers.
if you guys want to make it work, for
Yeah.
sure. I think there's a lot to consider. The fact that you guys have kids is worth fighting for. Um, but then again, like, think about what makes you guys happy. Don't just do it because you have kids. But if you guys feel it deep down, both ways, him and her, if you both feel like you guys want to be with each other, but you guys have really broken trust both ways, then you're going to have to put in the work. Like, you just literally, there's no other way around it. Like, you're going to have to build that trust again, and it's not going to be easy. And, there's a lot of trauma that has been built up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uncertainty that you guys are going to feel from each other. So you guys are going to have to be open about everything. There's not going to be able to be any secrets. Like, secrets out the door. Like, secret who? Like, you can't have secrets.
And you can actually go, this takes a lot, but like to go to like marriage counseling or like therapy, like if you don't want to go in person, you can probably do it online somewhere. That I know there's a lot of websites that you can do it from. If you're a sponsor, you want to sponsor this episode, here you go. But that takes a lot for a marriage to be like, okay, we want this to work. But there are actual professionals that would help you guys make that happen.
For sure. I think that in
and if you go back to our second episode where we had a guest on with Charlene, she actually gives some websites, I think, for therapists. I believe so. If not, you can always send her a DM. I'm sure she'll answer you.
Charlene, yeah. Again, I think that as a woman, you that came to me in searching for an answer, I think the answer is within yourself. If you can try this one more time with this person, you're the only one who will know if you can ever trust this person again. And if you're willing to go through the healing process with this person, because you're going to have to heal and you're going to have to build that trust again with him. And only you having a conversation with him and seeing how willing he is to go, how far he's willing to go to save what you have, is very important, because this can't just be you trying to save your relationship. He has to be willing to do anything it takes to save your relationship.
And don't force it either. Like, don't be like, hey, we're gonna start this and like we need to get married and like we need, because now you're just like, all right, here's this big ass duffel bag of like problems. Like, take it easy, like treat it like a new relationship that you guys are working out. Because
that's how you need to treat it, like a new relationship.
Yeah.
And start building that trust, like, and don't fold. Like, first off, do not fold. It's
gonna take a lot of willpower from you.
A lot. I think for me personally, I'm gonna say my opinion from my perspective. If I was her, I couldn't do it, because for me, even one betrayal, like one big betrayal for me, is enough for me to have a really hard time to regain trust. So for me, several times you disrespected me and didn't prioritize me. And so for me, it would be very hard for me to trust this person again. But again, like, I'm not in you guys' relationship. Only you as a woman know if maybe you failed in certain things as well. That part, Yeah,
because right now we only know one side of the story. So
right, that part is a big deal. Like, if you as a woman know that, maybe you could have done several things much better, then that's a different story. You both need to give yourself some grace. But if I know that I respected you all the way from the beginning, I was honest and open, and all you did was step over me, and I gave you a chance over and over and over and over again, you betrayed me, it would be very hard for me to go back with that person. I think I would rather start over with a new person because I just feel like I deserve someone who is going to value me, who sees that, you know what, I'm a valuable person and I'm giving you all the grace in the world and I deserve it back.
And don't base your relationship off just sex. Because if that's all you guys give each other that makes you guys happy, it's not going to work.
Absolutely not. Communication is key. To start to end, always like this. It's not, an option. You guys both need to be open about what is it that you want from a partner. You guys need to be open about everything. You guys need to be so transparent in order for this to work. And so question him if you want to make this work. Are you willing to be as transparent as possible with me? I don't want to see you hiding anything on your phone. I should be able to pick up your phone calls.
Yeah.
That kind of transparency, it shouldn't be that BS of I need privacy. You can't have that if you're going to try and make this work. It's not going to work if you go into it with that kind of mentality.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, because I feel like some people are like, oh, you want the passcode to the phone to always be going through. It's not necessarily the fact that the person is always going to be going through your phone.
Right.
It's just the fact that if they wanted to, or not even if,
it's just
just have it.
It's just that some men make such a big deal, or women, they make such a big deal about the passcode on their phone that it makes you fishy. It makes you sound fishy. It makes you sound like you're hiding something. Sometimes you might not be hiding anything, but the fact that you have a passcode on your phone,
well, you should have a passcode, so in case
for
you lose your phone.
And stuff. Right. We both have passcodes, but we both know each other's passcodes. It doesn't matter. It's not oh my God, this is high security for my husband. It's just dumb. I feel like if you're in a really committed relationship, it's a dumb thing to do. The more you make this high priority of having this passcode on your phone and nobody can know about it, the more you're making your wife or husband doubt and think that you're doing something behind their back. It's just that thing.
She shows me the DMs that you thirst balls be sending her.
It doesn't matter. You know why? Because I have no intentions of talking to somebody else secretly. I just have zero intentions of doing that, so why not? I just don't care.
So I gotta say this, some of you guys, I don't even know if there's guys watching this, but there be guys that be DMing Jessica after looking through her page and she's she's a family woman, got kids, got a husband, hey, I think we should get to know each other. But what?
No, and then they say something I know you have a family and a husband, and I hope I'm not interfering with that, but I was just hoping we could get to know each other. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. But this is why you have to be strong in a relationship, and you have to know what is it that exactly that you want, and you have to be have a strong bond with your partner, because it's things like that can make your relationship go left.
Yeah.
Because if we were a weak partnership, right, and I get that type of DM, and let's say I go to this person's profile, and I'm like, kind of good looking, and they're over here just calentándome el oído, just saying nice things on my DM. If we're not strong enough, I could easily, hey, what's up, and start conversation with this person, right? Entertain that person. And everything can happen from just a DM. Yeah. That's how everything starts. And so that's why it's very important to have a strong relationship. And if you feel like things are getting boring, or, you feel like you're missing something in your relationship, rather than you go to somebody outside of your relationship to get whatever it is, the excitement that you're looking for. How about you tell your partner, hey, I'm feeling a little bored, like I'm having thoughts that I don't think I should be having. Can we do something about this? Like, I feel like we need to incorporate a little bit of fun in our relationship. Like, let's do something fun because, I'm not feeling it right now. Like, talk to your partner about everything that you're feeling. If you're, need some time to, like, I don't know, go out with your girlfriends and have dinner, like, just be open and honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah, we hope you guys enjoy this segment. If this is something you guys would like to see, let us know. Shoot us. You probably gonna shoot her a DM, not me, but
Well,
of a topic that you guys would like us to discuss, or in the comments, or
right. And you guys can continue to do this. I really like this idea of having you guys send us, whether anonymous.
We'll keep it anonymous because honestly, there's people that have hit me up trying to get on the podcast for the wrong reasons, and I prefer to just keep it anonymous because once you start like shouting people out, people just start making stuff up just because they want the shout out. So
right.
Everything will be anonymous to avoid any issues from both parties because not everybody wants their information out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it will always be anonymous, and it won't be all the time that we do this, but it could be something that we do.
But what I'm saying is you can send me a DM with your Instagram handle so I can know who you are if you want to, or you can send us an anonymous email to
frozenvisualz@gmail.com.
frozenvisualz@gmail.com regarding your personal situation, and so that we can give you some input. Maybe some of the viewers, you guys can give us your input in the comment section. We would love to see that as well. And yeah, so in conclusion, to close this off, honey, I think you know the answer within yourself. Nobody more than yourself knows what you've been through with this person, and only you know if you have it in your heart to forgive everything they've done and start fresh.
If that person is willing to put the same effort.
And most importantly, you need to make sure that this person is willing to give it 1,000% starting from this point on, and make sure that you're being valued as a woman, as a mom, and that person is willing to do everything it takes to gain your trust back, and vice versa. And that's it. I wish you guys the best. I hope you guys can truly work something out. If not, then move along and find a better partner that's suited for him and for yourself. And that's it. Thank you so much for trusting us with such personal information. It was an honor for me to, to feel like you trust me that much with so much information. So thank you for that. You best believe I will never. But
only this viral podcast.
No. But yeah, that's it for today's podcast. And don't forget, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us your reviews. We have no reviews on those platforms.
You guys are slacking.
So leave us your reviews. It really helps our podcast. And if you're watching here on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the bell so you can be notified every time we post a video. Leave your comments down below, please. We would love to hear your opinion regarding the situation. And that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Until next time.
Peace.